If you are building or renovating, then taking action on what you learn in this short video will be the most valuable thing you do for years. That is a big statement, but I can say that because it will help you avoid the number one most costly mistake people make when doing a building project. Have you ever heard of the term on time and on budget? If not, this concept is an important one. On time and on budget is a term used in all big projects, from construction to IT to building roads. All these building projects are trying to meet their target. The term refers to completing a project at the building stage within the planned time frame and within the planned budget. Many times this does not happen, and for you and your project, this is bad news. There are many reasons projects at building stage might not come in on time and on budget, but by far the number one reason is lack of planning in the early phases, which is the design stage. Here's the thing. At some point during your project, you are going to discover a way to make your project better. That is a given. It always happens. It could be a design change. It could be a window or door in a better place. It could be the layout of a room. It might be a design that saves you money or dramatically improves the livability of the spaces. But sooner or later, you're going to want to make a change. And when shortcuts are taken early on and people rush into the design steps, people do not discover all the options they had or what they really wanted until the concrete has already been poured. Without getting a full design service completed before the builder gets on site, homeowners regularly shortchange their design outcomes and pay a lot more for less. Late discovery of your real design needs or options leaves you crying, "If only I had known." That is why we created our Step 1 Design Advice Service, orally presented on-site consultation. There are 6 steps during a project when changes can be made. At our Design Advice Service, which is our pre-design step. At our Sketch Design Concept step. At our Design Development step. At our Approval Application step. At our Construction Documentation step. At our Contract Administration, including tender and overseeing the build steps. If you discover better options early, then you can make the changes effortlessly. Make your discoveries late and you pay exponentially more. Or worse, live in a house where you settled for a lesser option. Here's an indication of how costs change the later you make changes. During pre-design, design advice service, it's 1 times your cost. And during the constructions phase, it can be 50 times more. A picture tells 1,000 words. With our Step 1 Design Advice Service and our ongoing design service, Steps 2 to 6, you will never have to utter those tragic words. If only I had known. Take a look at this graph. Time is on the bottom, on the x-axis. As time progresses, the opportunity to make changes decrease. This is common sense. It is a lot easier to change the location of a concrete footing before it has been placed in the ground. Now this graph represents the relative cost to make a change. As you can see, as time progresses, changes get increasingly more expensive. The best time to make a change is at the beginning of a project within the Dion Seminara architecture design steps. This is why a thorough design advice service should be your first step. As the saying goes, measure twice and cut once. When we overlay these 2 charts, you can see that at the beginning of a project, the opportunity for change is greatest and the cost to make changes is least. It is at this point in the process that we want to thoroughly explore all of your options. This is why proper design planning saves time and money. You may be asking, do I need a design advice service? Here's a quick test to find out. Take out a pen and paper and give yourself a score for each of the following questions. Out of 10, how clear are you on exactly what you need? Out of 10, how aware are you of all the various options your site will accommodate? Or if you're renovating, out of 10, do you know how to maximize the flow in your home to ensure pleasant room configuration and space that works? Out of 10, how confident are you that you are aware of all the legal requirements? Out of 10, how confident are you that you know how to get good cross-flow ventilation and good light through your home? Out of 10, how aware are you of the process you will need to have in place to get the project completed on time and on budget once you start building? Out of 10, how confident are you that your budget will achieve your needs? Don't worry about not being able to answer these questions yet. Our design advice service will allow us to fill in the gaps. We designed this process a few years ago because we saw a huge issue in the construction industry of people starting design and construction before they had fully done their research and homework. We would see many building projects during the building phase go over time and over budget. So the first step you need to complete is the design advice service orally presented on-site or at your home. The consequence of inadequate upfront research of design advice service is like building a house on bad foundations. The foundations are the most important part of the whole house because everything is built on top. It's very expensive to change the foundations once you have started to build on top of them. But it's very easy to change them if they are simply lines on a plan. This is what makes us different. We spend more time on the research than most other firms who rush their clients into the design phase. At Dion Seminara Architecture, we take a different approach. In fact, we will only work with clients who are prepared to do our design advice service first. We will not exclude this step. It only causes cost overruns later if we take shortcuts and don't establish solid foundations. The design advice service is the most important initial step because it lays the foundation for a successful project if you engage Dion Seminara Architecture. Once completed, the valuable insights you gain from this first step are used to ultimately produce a better result for you. Can I save money by not paying for a design advice service? Sure. You could skip this step or meet with someone who gives you a few ideas for free and rushing you into the design concept service, or worse, a complete design to build service prematurely. However, not investing the time in a full design advice service can be the most expensive decision you make during your project. The most cost-effective time to discover all your options is now, ahead of the building construction stage. Please call us on 3899 9450 or make an inquiry via our contact page at www.dsarchitecture.com.au. Don't miss out on the opportunity. Call to chat to either our design director or one of our associates today. Or simply get the ball rolling by booking your design advice service with us.